Yeah, so obviously the question is, should we actually prepare the topic ahead?
No, it's just if I was going to ask if there was a suggestion that we could throw something like that in where this is very introvert, you know, where we're
Yes.
going into the self all the time. But what happens when there are external forces? And I know we can block them out, but they're still going to happen to us, you know? They're still going to affect us in some shape, you know, whether it be financially, mentally, physically, those kind of things.
Right.
So how can we build ourselves or make ourselves better at coping mechanisms? So that not for now. I don't want to make that the focus of the meeting. You work away with what you had planned. But if there is something that you can find, some tools that you have in your arsenal, I'd welcome them.
Yeah. So obviously, you know, there are beautiful tools to make the life better, to improve yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are beautiful techniques to make some progress, to acquire some new knowledge, to become financially richer, to affect the reality. There are possibilities. You can acquire these forces if you wish. Yeah. You can manipulate the reality even, you know. All of that is possible. But what is the value of this if you will lose all of that anyway? Won't it be more leading to a greater suffering rather than self-realization and satisfaction, final fulfillment? But you know what? You're right. Until we identify with anything, we will have to protect that thing. So if I say I am that body, this body, for example, right? Then obviously there are other bodies around, and I'm separate then. And you can feel separate, that's fine. You identify, you have the freedom to choose your experience. No problem. Yeah, no problem with all of that. You can use techniques to make your life better, more comfortable, or whatever. But my question is, does it really have a value? Maybe it does. I don't want to impose on you any opinion. To me, the greatest value was always finding who I am. This was the question from my childhood, which didn't give me peace of mind. There were moments when it just was there, the answer was there. And these moments were so beautiful. In these moments, nothing was needed. In these moments, I could look on my body and ask, what is it to do with who I am? I could walk in nature and see that it's all part of me. And I'm huge. But then obviously situation changes, feeling change, thoughts change, everything changes. You cannot stop, right? The movie continues to project. And it's all lost. And you ask, oh, where it was? And you look for that, and you go and try to find it. And there were other moments in my life where I achieved a lot of success in different areas of life. Maybe relative, I don't compare here how much success one should have to say that he really had success, yeah? But then you try to see, first of all, this success, which people say that this is a success, doesn't really give you fulfillment and satisfaction. Or maybe after you reach the success and you still don't have another goal, then this is the moment of happiness. So people associate this moment of happiness with reaching the goal, fulfilling the desire. Naturally, right? They look, oh, okay, I will generate a new desire. I will run after it. I will achieve the goal, and here it is happiness. Yeah, buying a new car, better house.
Can I just say, I don't mean in any way materialistic or financial. This is pure.
Let's go for another. It's the same.
Compassion. Okay.
Okay, let's go for compassion. You want to reach compassion. It's exactly the same.
I want this to happen for compassionate reasons. I don't want to see somebody suffering.
Okay.
And I know that if one person just says yes, that suffering ends. And I can't change that person's mind.
But is it different from wanting to buy a new car? What is the difference? It's still a desire. I want other people stop suffering. Now let's look into the truth of it, into the matter. I don't want to convince you, no. I want you to see with your clean eyes, with your heart. Is desire different, one desire different from another desire? Whatever we put into the, how I say it, into the package of this desire, into the box of the desire. We call it spiritual desire, for example, yeah? Is it different from a materialistic worldly desire?
No.
Or desire,
I'm just thinking
just a desire.
Your purpose. It's not about the self. It's about, you know, being kind or being good.
Okay, let's look into it. Then let's look
and
together. But when I speak,
not to be a saint, not to be, oh, look, I'm
no.
fantastic. No one will know, but you know, I know that the end result will be good.
How do you know?
Well, I know what the alternative could be.
So let's go. There are several probably questions here that we can address. You first ask how to be kind. You cannot. You cannot be somebody. Maybe for a moment you can play kindness. You can pretend being kind. But kindness, natural love, how you do that? You can try to wear a mask of kindness, being nice. I'm kind, but will it work? You try and you see. Can you really control it? Oh, there is something before which must be recognized for real natural compassion to, can I say in English, to flourish like a flower? Yeah, there is such a word. Then the compassion is alive. Then it's a real compassion. But when you try to be compassionate, or you want others to be compassionate, is it an achievable goal at all? How you hold this? I just want to pay your attention that these are thoughts coming in the mind. Yeah, mind feeding these thoughts. It's feeding. I want others to be kind. I want myself to be kind. I need to improve myself. I need to work on myself. Where I find a technique to affect the reality. In any way, what is the difference, spiritual or materialistic? And I'm telling you the truth, there are techniques. And I myself explore techniques. There is a possibility to affect the reality. There is a possibility to create manifestations in your life. But does it give you peace and fulfillment? No, it takes it away, unless the peace is first recognized, unless you know who you are and you abide in that. It's not that you are not that already. This would be a lie. You are already that. But you believe yourself to be something else. You believe, you identify with something. And I'm not judging you at all, not. I'm just trying to express somehow that which cannot be expressed at all. Somehow, I'm not sure, good or bad. It's a failure for sure. I cannot express it. I know it. Before you awaken to the truth of who you are, whatever you do, you cannot understand it. Any understanding is wrong. After the recognition, you cannot express it. But what a joy is this failure. This failure is a great joy. This is a ground of being. See, when you are mature enough, when you're courageous enough to let go of all of your attempts to do anything, to change anything. and just to be now and here. All powers should be brought to the foot of this recognition, to the foot of this discovery. Otherwise, it will be just feeding the mind, the ego, whatever. You can invent a name for that. And by the way, no problem with any of this. You have freedom to choose. You are free. You are consciousness. You have freedom to choose with identify with anything, with any position of the mind, with any thought, with any power, with any image of yourself. You can try, and this is what most of the humanity do. You can try to put the infinity into a box of identification. Will it work? It won't. You can check.
Okay. If I, the only word I can think of is like an intention. So if I can focus intentions for something to manifest, I'm trying to figure the words that you used. Manifest itself. I don't manifest itself into being because I have no control over that. But to just, I don't know, focus some good vibes, for want of a better word, towards it.
Aren't you trying to avoid current moment? Let's check.
No, the current moment I am here. I know.
But you're trying to affect something.
No, I'm
Right?
asking you if that's something that is I should even bother trying to do, to focus intention or to
I see.
you know, is it worth my while even trying to invest some energy?
It works. It works.
So I can.
It works. It works living fully. It works putting your heart in whatever you do.
Okay, so it's not a bad thing for me to sit.
No, but when you put your heart fully in whatever you do, the mind is not there.
Okay.
It cannot be. When you fully abide in here and now, thought cannot exist in here and now. Because thought has a duration in time. Thoughts obviously pass through here and now. But here and now doesn't have duration in time. In that sense, there are no thoughts in here and now. Yeah, I definitely say we should live fully. This is why we're here. This is why this body is here. Let it live fully. Let yourself experience. Don't run away from any experience. If you need to come and speak, right? Come up and speak. Don't avoid any moment. Do you feel the difference a bit between two questions which you asked? Definitely. And
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but it's something that's, you know, it's in your heart where you can feel it. I know it's the wrong thing to say, but
it's
know.
burning. It's burning.
Yeah.
It is. It is burning. I agree. So the mind gives explanations about this burning. But the heart doesn't need explanation. It's just burning. And yes, awakening to the truth of who you are is living fully. It's not like before trying to hide, right? Trying to smile, being nice. No, if you need not to be nice, but be aware, be awake, be now, fully. We have great martial artists of the past who reached this recognition. And they fighted for death and life. People made the same discovery in war, in battles. People made same discovery in concentration camps. People made same discovery playing music in a concert. People made same discovery sitting quietly in meditation. People made same discovery in serving other people. What is same in all of that?
It's the one person within.
Exactly.
Themselves. Yeah.
The recognition is the same. So yeah, you will have your natural talents, how to express that. Yeah, flower in the garden, it grows and it expresses what it expresses. And then it dies. Yeah. Burn yourself fully during your life. This is why you are here. Like a candle, you know? It burns. But you see, we try to preserve something, we hide. Sometimes we need to come up and speak, but we keep quiet. I remember myself. I don't want to judge others. I can speak about myself. Trying to be nice to everybody, avoid conflicts at work. Yeah, make compromises. Sometimes it's appropriate, but sometimes not. There is no formula, you know, which I can give you. There is no formula. There is a spontaneous manifestation now. And then its manifestation gone, immediately gone in the past. But the moment remains. And being fully alive is to be, I can say like this, be fully in sync with this moment. Be that this moment now. It doesn't mean to be acquire a state of calmness or whatever. Not necessarily. When we try to acquire a state of calmness, we are avoiding something. We want to run away from that which disturbs our peace. Yeah, somebody makes me angry, I go and meditate to get rid of anger, obviously. But this is a huge miss, because under the anger, there is fear, usually. And under the fear, something else. And under all of that, there is a substratum, the ground of being. And then, when you recognize that, when you, then everything what you do is on the ground of that joy. Anything what you feel, you don't run away from feelings and emotions. You meet them as they are now. And it's obviously all about being willing to be true now. No compromises with truth. It's just truth. Otherwise, it's just a lie. Where is life then? It's not about being good or bad to people. Not at all. It's about being true. Gangaji said once, standing for truth, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. What a life then. What a joy. You can be on the cross, fully alive. Then the death goes through you and disappears. Can you do this recognition? You cannot. You can do something which is not yourself already. But that, even looking for that, is going too far. There is nothing wrong with trying to make the world a better place. It's beautiful, right? But what do we know about better or worse? Yeah, unless we know the ultimate good, if I can say like that, at all. And interestingly, when you are acting from that, or more precise to say, when you allow the action spontaneously to rise from that, then whatever you do, it's the right doing. And when you do what we condition to believe, when you do the right things, what we were educated to believe, right things, but without that recognition, whatever you do, it just will be wrong. I'm using the words of duality to express something which is even not dual. I don't have other language to speak. So I must use the words, right, the language, but I'm trying to point to that which cannot be pointed to, which is not somewhere, which is here and now. And as I said, everything should be brought to the feet of that. Everything. I again can give you example from my life. Several years ago, I was so involved in my Tai Chi practice. I couldn't think about anything else, just about that, reading books, thinking, even in the work, yeah, when I went to work, my engineering work, I was all the time thinking about Tai Chi and my practice and what next. And I was making some great progress. It's naturally was with my practice. And then I went to meet my teacher, Tai Chi teacher. And I practiced with him several days. And before leaving back to England, before saying goodbye, he told me last words. He told me, "It's all beautiful. It's great. Your progress is great," he told me. But he asked me a question: who are you when there is no Tai Chi? This question was like a strike under the belly. I couldn't breathe because I fully imagined what will be my life if now that which is the dearest to me, that which I'm thinking all the time about, even when I'm with my family, I wanted to practice Tai Chi, right? It was in my focus of my attention. And suddenly I just imagine it's taken from me. So who I am? And this question didn't leave me. Then this question became the focus of my attention. Instead of, I practiced Tai Chi, obviously, but this question was all the time there. Who I am, and there is nothing. And ultimately, if you think about this, ultimately, everything will be lost sooner or later. But we run away from this, right? We try to avoid this feeling of inevitable loss. Actually avoiding the diamond which is hidden there. And yes, obviously, yeah, the life is going on, right? Everything will change. You cannot grasp anything. But this which cannot be grasped, it's just holding you. And even to say that is wrong, because you are that. Yeah, so as you say, the burning should be so huge, the burning for truth. It will burn out all of other desires. And then you find, actually, even not find, you discover that what you looked after. You were looking for love, for compassion. That's all there, all here. In its fullest manifestation. Not what we think about how compassion should be. No, this is just a game of the mind. And obviously for that compassion to appear, you need to hug yourself so deeply. In all moments of your life. Unconditional love. Accept yourself in the light and in the darkness, fully. It was all in service of that recognition. And then, if there are emotional difficulties, you meet that. Because, you see, any thought is already in the past. As you start thinking, you're already in the past. This is why I say, let go of the thoughts. Don't touch them. The mind will be thinking, but you don't touch. But the emotion is here and now. Whatever it is, it can be different emotions. And this must be met. Emotion is always in the center. And if you want to be at home in the center, you don't move. You don't fight the emotion. You don't run away. You meet it as your beloved and merge with it. No. We cannot define that or determine how this should behave. We cannot say how an enlightened being, and these words are themselves misleading, how an awakened being should be. We cannot. Otherwise, you would not be free. Freedom is just not to hold to anything. Letting go of the past immediately. Full letting go. Then you can meet the death. Now, not after. That will be too late. Now. And in this meeting, death dies. I promise you that. Not because you tried to get rid of it, but because you embraced it as your beloved. And on this end, you are alive. This recognition is the birth, real birth. This is why it's called awakening. The feeling is like you awaken from the dream of running after something or to feel well. Yeah, we all like feeling well. So we run after these feelings or objects which we think will give us this feeling. And we run away from what is unpleasant to us. We try to avoid that. But mostly it is dream because we believe in the thoughts. When we are thinking about the reality, we're actually not thinking about the reality. I told you once, right, that we are not able to think about anything. What we are thinking is just another thought. And the whole irony of this is that actually thoughts thinking about thoughts. And this game goes on in the head. So when you think, you are thinking about a sunrise. But to think about this, you need to create an object in your mind, another thought, image, duplication of that sunrise, to think about it at all. This is not a real experience of the sunrise. This is just a thought. And same when we say I. When we say I, it's unless we inquire deeply into that, it's just a substitution. We believe in the thought I. And this is the greatest of the avoidances. We substituted that which is before I, with a belief, with a thought, and then put on it different identifications, which change every moment. Depends on the feelings, even on the weather. I sit at home today, and suddenly sunshine. Oh, I feel so good. Yeah, it's my experience. I'm sharing with you now, right? Oh, what a pleasure, sunshine. And then suddenly raining. Oh, again, it's raining. Yeah, I am not happy now. I'm sad. Yeah, I'm a bit over exaggerating, but this is how it is. This identification changes all the time. So in a sense, our belief I is many I's. Many eyes. Yeah, invitation is to stop substituting by your thoughts. Yeah. You cannot stop thinking because this will be just attempt of the mind to control the mind. You cannot get rid of the ego because this will be an attempt to fragment, to create another fragment, which we can call, Gangaji calls it superego, to control the ego. War continues. You cannot. No. The invitation is to allow everything to be. And if there is a war and a battle, you fight. And you put your heart in it fully. And if you are holding your child on your hands, then you love. This is when the war finishes. And this is when you make peace. Not with an object. Make peace, which is now, with everything. Mind will always try to create another fragment. This is a great tool. Mind is a great tool. We should use it wisely. But when you start to believe that you are the mind, then it's just a tragic overlooking of who you are really. So I am very thankful to you, Tenma, for your question. Without these questions, there could not be an answer. And the mind will come back. It obviously will try, but you don't move. You don't fight because you made peace. Remember? You see, words are misleading. You cannot grasp by understanding. This is when one should be willing of letting go of all understandings. All understandings. Just direct knowing. No understanding can provide that. Direct love. No understanding can provide it at all. When you are willing for the whole of love to go through you, whatever it brings, it's huge. It's huge. And you don't run away, you embrace it. You meet your beloved.